Hey everybody, Roxanbox90 here, back with spoilers for Fate Reforged Day 4. We got more spoilers. Last time we got Calloghan, Storm's Fury, and a bunch of mechanics, and basically the main dump of first spoilers. Now we're going to get into some more meat. We got Soulfire Grandmaster. Holy cow, is that beautiful. Both perspective, the art. What does it do? What does the name say? Well, Soulfire. 1 and a white for a 2/2 human monk with lifelink. Does anyone think Soulfire reminds them of Jim Butcher's Dresden Files? Because, yeah, sweet. 2 for a 2/2 lifelink. That's okay, right? It's a human. That's scary. It's a mythic. That's even scarier because instant and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. But what? Instants and sorceries have lifelink? Are we reading that right? Because that sounds like Lightning Bolt is a 3 for 3. It sounds like Lightning Bolt is Lightning Helix when this is in play. Wow. Okay, hold on for a second. 2 and 2 hybrid. The next time you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, put that card back in your hand instead of your graveyard. Whoa. Like I said, Lightning Bolt. Just Lightning Bolt. Think of nothing else. Just Lightning Bolt on its own. You can play it. It's Lightning Helix for 1. If you pay it for 5, you can return it to your hand for recasting. That seems really freaking good to me. Like, holy cow, really good. Like, Boros aggro insane. And that's just the tip of the iceberg because you realize it's blue, red, and white. Which means, of course, Commander, this card is bananas for decks that are very instant and sorcery spell heavy because by the time you get to mid-late game, you want to be able to recycle the spells you cast, and this card lets you do that. The fact that it gives all the spells lifelink seems for aggressive decks, this seems really, really bonkers to me. I don't know about you guys, but it just seems really pushed. 2 for a 2/2 lifelink is fine. Giving all your instant sorcery spells lifelink, I get around that. That's pretty insane. Then giving it a way to recast your spells, this is going to be a thing. I want my foils now. Jeskai Infiltrators, 3 for a 2/3. It can't be blocked as long as you control no other creatures. In other words, if it's on its own, it can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile it and the top card of your library in a face-down pile, shuffle that pile, then manifest. That's really interesting. So in other words, if it is unblocked, then you get 2 2/2s, it and an anonymous card from top of your deck. Seems good in a weird way. I mean, limited it seems really strong because it gives you ahead of the curve, 3 for 10, the following turn 2 2/2s that can be morphed or unmorphed. That seems really good. I don't quite know. It's a little bit weird that it's not fully unblockable. Because we've seen 3 for 3, 2 unblockables, but I guess the mechanic would be too strong. It's probably going to be strong and limited. That's what I can say about it. Dragon Scale General, 4 for a 2/3 human warrior. At the beginning of your end step, bolster X, where X is the number of tapped creatures. Wowzers. Now that's hardcore for limited environment. Like ridiculous. Especially for any sort of aggro curve, because suddenly your weakest thing is crazy strong the following turn. Reasonably costed, no special abilities otherwise. I kind of wish it had something, but even so, I think this is going to be a bomb and limited. Is it strong enough for constructed? I think it's a little weak in and of itself, and it's a little late in the curve, but maybe that's what these kind of mid-rangey decks want. I think it has a lot of potential. Archfiend Depravity is 5 for a 5/4 flying demon. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures and then sacks the rest. This sounds like a very fun card for Commander, but guess what? I think at 5 for a 5/4 flying, that in and of itself is really strong. I think it actually does have constructed potential. Of course, in limited, it's great. It forces your opponent to keep token themes down. It forces your opponent to just have a small board presence, and it's a huge flyer body. Again, this kind of feels pre-release-y rare to me, pre-release bomb rare to me, but I like it a lot. I think the art is pretty neat, and I think the ability is pretty sweet. Awesome. Temur War Shaman, 6 for a 4/5. When it enters the battlefield, you manifest the top card. So in other words, it's 6 for a 4/5 and a 2/2. And whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, if it's a creature, you may have it fight. In other words, if you know that you can, well, you may, so you can decide to flip up stuff and have it fight, which means it turns the face down, face up mechanic even more on its head by making every single morph creature you have possibly into removal. I really like that as a top curve for green. That seems really strong, especially if you're running some sort of manifest. Limited bomb, of course. Is it going to be strong enough for constructed? I doubt it. Commander, though, I could see it going somewhere with very big creature aggressive decks. Definitely see that happening. I think that was it through this. And then we got also Palace Siege. It's another one of this siege cycle, this moral enchantment cycle. Enters the battlefield, you get Khans or Dragons. Khans at the beginning of your upkeep, return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Dragons at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. It seems to be a control deck card. Control deck commander is going to love this. At 5 mana, it seems a little bit much, but for later game or mid game for control decks, I think being able to get creatures back or deciding about dealing damage, yeah, I think it has potential. Again, not so much for constructed. I think it's going to be pretty decent and limited. Just giving you constant getting creatures back to your hand seems pretty good if the format's slow enough. And of course, in Commander, this card is fantastic. Having the choice to do one or the other, I think it's very, very well designed. Very cool. There we go. And we actually get a glimpse of another one of the dragons, because they said they're going to have the artwork of the dragon fighting the clan in each one of this cycle. So there we go. Preview, sneak peek. Temporal Trespass, last card, Mythic, 3 blue for a sorcery. What could be 11 mana? Is this another Into the Infinite or something? Kinda. It has Delve, which already we've seen what that means. Take an extra turn after this one, exile it. Few truly live in the moment. Really interesting art. I wonder who this is, or just random in a sense, but I love this kind of warped effect in terms of moving through time. I love it, and it kind of reminds me of from Lord of the Rings when Bilbo or Frodo have the ring on their finger. That's kind of the style it reminds me. Very cool, awesome Mythic. I think it has a lot of potential. Again, if the 8 Delve, like we've seen with things like Treasure Cruise, if the Delve doesn't matter, it's basically 3 blue for a Time Walk, exile it. Is it as good as Temporal Mastery? Not necessarily. I don't think so, because the decks that work with Miracles tend to take more advantage of that. In Take Extra Turn decks, I don't really play those, so I can't speak for them so much. I'm assuming this is another good way if by mid-game you're taking extra turns and then your graveyard's filling up. This card seems another way to take advantage of that. But that's just me. Of course, in Commander, this card is crazy. I think it's better than many time take effects just because you can end up making it cost less than 5. You can make it cost 3, which seems pretty decent. I like it a lot. I think it's very interesting. Will it see playing constructed? That's the big question. I doubt it unless control is there. Unless a control deck is there, which unless a control deck could somehow take advantage of this, I don't know if it's worth the risk of drawing a dead card in hand so early in the game and then waiting till late game. I don't know about that, but it's definitely an interesting design. Big Commander card. I like it a lot in that sense. So those are the spoilers for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. Also, don't forget, abugames.com for the next day or 2 days has a deal. If you order $25 or more from their website, then they will send you a free Khans of Tarkir booster pack. All you gotta do is put Roxabox 90 pack, as you'll find below in the description, put it in the comment section of your order, and you'll get a free pack. So if you want to get in the last end of the year gifts, New Year's gifts, or just any sort of last end of the year orders taking advantage of sales, go for it. Free pack, could be a free fetch land, would be sweet. So thanks for watching, everyone. As always, Roxabox 90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.